3 minutes after 10 it is, and time to bring the man centre stage. Stop looking in the sky, will you? Howard Parkin is here. How you doing, Howard?
I'm very well, thanks, Andy.
What a perfect night for stargazing.
Absolutely. So I want everybody
We've had to
go
drag,
outside.
We've had to drag the little wretch here from gazing at the sky. Are there many better nights than this?
Yes, because there's quite a bright moon out tonight, so that's killing it a bit.
It's a waxing moon, isn't it?
It is. It's full on Monday.
Is it? Right, okay.
It's full on Monday, but it's still a spectacular night. In fact, I implore anybody who's listening to the show now, maybe not now, listen to the show for the first half hour, but then just go outside and look for yourself. It's a stunning evening. It's cold, yeah, but there's no such thing as bad weather. It's just bad clothing, as they say.
By the way, if you get hypothermia, his name's Howard Parkin.
No, it's Andy Wint.
It's Howard Parkin, okay.
Wint.
Thank you. Well, the winter sky, here we are. Fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic sky tonight. I mean, the last few nights have been absolutely stunning. I was very fortunate. I took my class outside on Tuesday. It's the first time I've done that for about 2 years. We went up to Conrenny, which is one of the island's dark sky sites, and we stood there for about 3/4 of an hour. It was freezing cold, but gee, it was fantastic. It's really spectacular. What people don't realise is the winter sky is so much better than the other seasons of the year, not because it's dark early or the cold nights or anything else, but the stars of winter are far more spectacular, far brighter. I can prove it to you. All you've got to do tonight is go outside now, tonight, any time, or before it clouds over tomorrow, when it's dark, obviously. Just look to the east and you'll see 8, 9, 10 bright stars. The constellation of Orion, which most people know what Orion looks like.
The hunter.
The hunting dominates the eastern sky at the moment, the southeastern sky at the moment. And around that, there's a load of other bright stars. I won't tell you all the names of them all now. But turn round 180 degrees and look the other way, you'll be lucky to see 3. What we call the summer triangle, which is setting in the west. Look to the north, yes, you'll see the Plough. If you look overhead, you'll see Cassiopeia. But look to the east, and you see this wonderful profusion of very bright stars. And to the south, we've got the wonderful autumn constellations, but they're very faint. Winter is a great time of the year for us. If we lived in Australia, we'd be moaning that the winter sky for them is what we see in the summer. And of course, their summer skies are winter sky. It really is quite spectacular. It's not until you get the chance to physically do it on a clear night when there's no clouds around, you see this fantastic display of the best constellations of the year.
Okay. ISS knocking around?
Absolutely. The ISS, we had a bit of excitement last night because the ISS actually went across the moon. So myself and quite a few others in the Astronomical Society.
Like E.T.?
Yeah, just like E.T., except not on a bicycle.
Right.
I tried to get a picture and didn't, but Pete Geddes got one. It's not often, but there's a website you can go on to. It's called Transit Finder, and you just go on that website. You put your latitude and longitude in, and it tells you when you can see it. And I can tell everybody tomorrow night at 9 o'clock there will be another one. Another transit of the moon by the International Space Station. What you're seeing, of course, is the space station, which normally is quite bright when it's sunlit. But of course, at this time of night, at 9 o'clock, it won't be lit at all. It'll just be black. You won't see it at all. But then all of a sudden, it'll appear on the limb of the moon. And it takes about a second to go across. Yeah. So you've got to be quick. And to get an image of it is quite spectacular.
And what sort of gear do you have to...
You've got to have at least a telescope, a good pair of binoculars. You might just see...
What about to take a photo? What sort of gear do you need
to take a photo? I tried it with a still camera last night without success. And I know Pete and I know Graham Gordon tried it with a movie camera. Obviously take a video of it and then you can break down frame by frame. And Pete got 2 images from it actually, so it's quite spectacular. And as I say, another chance tomorrow at 9 o'clock. But it does only takes less than a second, so look out for it.
Takes a second to go across.
Just a second. Well, 0.69 of a second to be precise. That's how fast it goes. You were sorry, ask me now. I thought it was 69 seconds. I thought, can't be.
Can you imagine? There it goes.
Absolutely, it's that quick. It's travelling at 17,500 miles an hour. You see, to stay up there, it's got to go at a minimum of 17,500 miles an hour. But we digress. The space station is actually in a period of viewing at the moment, and it can be seen twice in quick succession. Tomorrow night, for instance, it's visible at 10 to 6, but only 19 degrees south-southeast. Again, at 7:30 tomorrow, only 13 degrees west-southwest, so not very good tomorrow. But on the 2nd of December, it's visible at 18:35, so that's 25 to 7. in the southwest at 33 degrees. Lots of times to see it in the next few days. That's one of the best ones. I'll just tell you one other. The 6th of December, it's visible at 20 to 5, and then again at 6:15.
6th of December. Is that next Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next Wednesday, so lots of chances to see it. Just go onto the heavens above web. Just put just put ISS visibility in your computer, and it'll ask you where you live. Put Douglas, and you'll see it. You can't miss it. It's quite spectacular, and you get a real buzz out of seeing it because there's 6 people on board that working hard, looking down at us, just as we're looking at them.
Phenomenal, isn't it?
It is amazing.
You were talking about the moon getting bigger, and it's darn bright at the moment.
Oh, it is.
Well,
Well, we've actually got a supermoon. I hate the expression supermoon, but
so why do you say it?
Exactly. I've given in to all the media hype, should I say, Andy. All that happens is the moon is in an elliptical orbit. Sometimes when it's full, it's nearer the Earth than further away. So we have what they call the supermoon. I prefer the other expression. When the moon is at its furthest away from the Earth when it's full, we call it the wimpy moon.
The what?
The wimpy moon. Or micro moon, to be more precise.
The micro moon.
Wimpy.
Is there an official term for supermoon that you like?
There isn't one. The moon is at perigee. That is the technical expression. Perigee is closest to the Earth. Perigee is nearest to Earth.
And that's Sunday.
The third Sunday, yeah.
Sunday, yeah. Now, importantly, is it 3 weeks today? When's the solstice?
20th of December.
Which is 3 weeks ago as yesterday, stroke today, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's the winter solstice. So
after then, the days start getting longer.
The days start getting longer and the nights start getting warmer, and we're on our way up, heading up towards spring and the summer, of course.
And the moon's made of green cheese.
Of course it is.
So, just tell me, how does a solstice work? The official term. Solstice means
furthest from the sun.
Solstice literally means, doesn't it? Isn't it sun standing still or something?
No, you've got me on that
solstice.
One. For what you've got me on that, I give up. I know the equinox is equal day and equal night, but what the definition of solstice is?
I think it's soon sun standing still.
Well,
solstice.
basically, because what it does, it gets us the lowest point it can in our horizon on the 20th of December, and then of course it'll start rising again, and then it will have equal day, equal night at the equinox on the 21st of March, and then it will do the same until June the 20th, 21st. The day varies depending on where you are on the Earth, what time the actual solstice is.
I find it interesting because it kind of links back to prehistoric times, because obviously our ancestors judged everything by the sun and the moon.
Absolutely, they worshipped it. They worshipped the sun and the moon. That was what gave them the life and everything else.
Yeah.
I must have said this story before. After the eclipse, it's all well and good us sitting there watching an eclipse through eclipse glasses or on telly or whatever. But imagine you're out in your fields or you're out hunting your local boar to cook for the night, and all of a sudden it goes cold, it goes windy all of a sudden, and then it's dark, or it goes darker. You'd be frightened to death. And you think someone had stolen the sun, or a monster had eaten the sun, which is what all the legends. The history of astronomy, when you look back into the ancient Greeks and the Native Americans, all these cultures, they worship the heavens.
Well, I was fascinated by, I think I read something about the Egyptian soothsayers, the people who used to predict when the Nile would flood, and obviously they would it would be fertile, the Fertile Crescent, and they were the guys who basically knew how to read the moon, because they knew at a certain point the Nile would flood. It would flood. And they'd then tell the pharaohs, and then they wouldn't be executed for a month or two.
They'd be
because
safe.
They knew what was going.
I'll give you a classic example of that, Andy. Tonight, outside the studio window tonight, and if anyone goes outside, seriously, look for the constellation Orion, look for 3 stars in a line, follow the line down, you come to a very bright star. It's called Sirius. It's the brightest star in the evening.
Dog star.
The dog star, yeah. That star is known when its heliacal rising takes place, which is, think about it now, it's visible now, it's dead easy to see. The first time it was visible is about October time. It's late September, October time. That denoted the start of the flooding of the Nile. The heliacal rising of Sirius denotes the start of the flooding season of the Nile every year.
Howard, you could be soothsayer to Howard Quayle.
I could, couldn't I?
You could be the official Tynwald soothsayer.
They'd probably execute me.
Read the runes. Yes, you'll be up on Hango Hill.
Oh dear, yeah.
So anyway, when's the winter solstice, the new moon, it's going to be really dark.
It's
so
going to be great.
for
What's
stars.
going to happen is, because it's a new moon at the darkest time of the year when the nights are at the longest, we've got a great opportunity, some really good dark skies astronomy. So anyone who's the slightest interested at all, that is the time to go out and have a look. And we have a meteor shower. I'll come back to the Geminids in a minute, but the Ursid meteor shower peaks on the 22nd of Friday, the 22nd of December. So look to the northern sky, no moon to interfere. You've got a very good chance of seeing a few meteors. The meteor shower, the Ursids, is always neglected because it's so close to Christmas. Everyone's so busy going out drinking and everything else. But just take the moment to have a look. I always say to people, look around midnight, but you can look any earlier. I mean, the other night when we were up at Conrennie, it was about 9:30 at night. No, it was probably 9 o'clock actually. And we saw about 3 meteors just then. Just happened to catch 3 meteors because it was such a beautiful clear night, even with the moon up on Tuesday. So it's worth looking out for the Ursid meteors, which peak on the 22nd, and the Geminid meteors, which is probably the best one of the year, that peaks on the 13th. And again, the moon is going to be well out of the way. It's full on the 3rd, so it's going to be rising very late, sort of 3-4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So it'll be a great opportunity to try and find some Geminid meteors, which is the constellation just upper left of the constellation Orion.
Right, 14 minutes past 10, Thursday night, The Late Show, Andy Wint and Howard Parkin. It's the Manx Sky at Night. We've talked about the International Space Station and the supermoon and the stars, planets, anything knocking around.
Yeah. At the moment, Andy, today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. If you're very lucky, you can see all 5 naked eye planets at once. Not at once, sorry. You can catch the planets Mercury and Saturn in the early evening sky. Mm. Then go to bed and get up about 5 o'clock. And in the morning sky, we've got Venus, we've got Mars, and we've got Jupiter, all in a line.
5 o'clock?
In the morning. Well, 6 o'clock for you. As long as it's not too, the sky isn't light. I saw Jupiter this morning brilliantly, quite a long way from the sun. It was still just about getting light about 7 o'clock, 7:15, and you could see Jupiter very easily. Mm. Venus is a lot lower down, and it is actually disappearing into the dawn, the dawn sky, the lighting of the sky. And I love that expression, paling of the sky. That's Christa Burr, isn't it?
It is.
The paling of the sky.
The paling of the sky.
A lovely expression.
From A Spaceman Came Travelling.
That's it. Hey, we should play that.
Oh.
Maybe we'll do that for the Christmas. That's our Christmas song.
I've got the memo.
There we go. You go.
Can't play Christmas songs until tomorrow.
Oh dear, sorry about that.
Oh, we get in trouble with that.
We'll play that one when we do our Christmas show.
So they're all visible. Mercury, Jupiter, Mars.
All 6 are visible.
Right.
All 6 are visible. Now, with a bit of luck, you'll count 6 now and you think, what's the 6th one?
What's the 6th one?
The one you're standing on. You can see it if you look down at your feet.
Really?
The Earth.
Oh.
That's the way I tell them.
Oh, Howard Parkin is here. Time for a song now.
Absolutely.
And what are we going to play then tonight?
Well, we're going to dedicate this to Graham and Hillary, who I know are listening in North Wales. And this is a song, what else could we play with the supermoon coming on Sunday, but The Whole of the Moon by the Waterboys.
20 past 10 on Manx Radio. That's Mike Scott's band, the Waterboys and The Whole of the Moon, here with Howard Parkin as the Manx Sky at Night. And by the way, it'll be available at manxradio.com via our portal on Manx Radio Vision. Howard's in Vision with his special, what's that T-shirt? Usain Bolt. Howard's got an Usain, but what do you have the figure for it, Howard, I have to say.
Absolutely.
Where'd you get that from?
Jamaica, man.
Posing again, of course. If you ever go on these cruises, you'll probably see Howard. He's up there with everybody. He mixes with absolutely everybody, because you do the lectures, don't you? What is it? You do star watching on cruise?
Oh yeah,
on cruise.
I mean, the cruise I've just done, I did 4 stargazing sessions. We had 4 weeks, and every Wednesday we did it on deck, and every week was clear. I mean, I've never had that good fortune before. And then blow me, the next time I come home, and I arranged to take my class last Tuesday, and I thought, will it be clear? And it was. So we're on a roll at the moment, Andy.
Fantastic. Okay, right. Just remember, it's a supermoon on Sunday, the winter solstice, and the new moon on the 20th of December. So it's all happening.
Absolutely.
And you got some news on dark skies.
Yes, I'm very excited about this. The government have introduced an initiative that's being launched. Literally, this is almost exclusive news for you today, Andy, because what the government have done is they're having a project called 2018, the Isle of Man, a great place to live and to work. That's the basic theme of the promotion they're doing throughout the year. And they're starting it with a dark skies celebration. and which is very exciting because we've got a number of dark skies events taking place at the end of January. There's going to be an exhibition at the Villa Marina. We're going to be having the Alaman Astronomical Society doing their stargazing at Onken Park, which they do every year, but that's on Friday, Saturday and Sunday, the 19th, 20th, 21st. I might have got that wrong. I think it's 20th, 21st, 22nd. And excuse me, and there's all sorts of other events taking place. There's lectures, there's hopefully a visit to the observatory, which has got to be arranged yet, and all this is taking place. And the theme is basically, throughout the year, we're looking at why is it so good and so special to live in the Isle of Man. And of course, one of the things that we've worked out in recent years is the fact our dark skies are so spectacular.
Well, haven't you've mentioned in the past two people have come to live here.
Absolutely. Yes, I know of at least two people, and probably more, who live here because of the dark skies. We're so fortunate. We don't really appreciate how good our skies are. They're really quite spectacular. And on a night like tonight, for instance, even with the moon up, the skies right down to the horizon, you can see the stars. You go to a big city, you will only see the very bright stars. So the winter stars, yes, you'll see the bright ones. But we also see the stars, as I say, almost right down to the horizon. That is a test of the seeing of the sky. If there's no light pollution or there's less light pollution, you're going to see the stars, a big massive dome right across the sky. So I'm quite excited about the whole thing. And obviously,
so when is that? When's the event?
It's actually starting on the first event. It will be the Astronomy Society's stargazing nights, which are on the Friday, Saturday and Sunday, which are the 19th, 20th, 21st. And then we're going into the thing at the Villa Marina on the Monday, and then there's going to be hopefully some visits to places of astronomical significance Wednesday, Thursday. We're hoping to do a talk at the Nayarbal or the Sound on the Friday. They don't know about this yet, so sorry about that. It hasn't been fully arranged yet.
You heard it here first.
These are all the plans, and then we finish off with another event on the Saturday, and then then there'll be another event. Then they're going to be celebrating all aspects of Manx life, and I'm very excited about it because we don't appreciate how good our skies are. It's something that I think we should be shouting from the rooftops, and as a consequence, that's been acknowledged and recognised, and it's great to see it happening.
Now, you mentioned the Ursid meteors around, but also Gemini as well?
Yeah, the Gemini meteors I mentioned just before the break, because they're worth mentioning again, because the Geminid meteors are usually the best shower, or one of the best two showers of the year. The Perseids in August and the Geminids are around the 12th and the 13th of December. No moon to interfere, so it should be quite spectacular and well worth looking out for.
Okay. Now, the dome at the nunnery.
Yes, now this is another thing I want to talk about, because this is something, again, that's very exciting that's happened. Now, I'm told I mustn't say it's a planetarium. It's a dome. Adrian Bell has done this, and a lot of credit to Adrian for this. He's set up this project. It's in the forecourt there by the chapel at the nunnery, and he's put this 360-degree immersive cinema. That's what it is. It's a dome which has got 5 projectors which project onto the roof inside.
Gotcha.
And he was showing me the other day some of these spectacular natural shots, not just astronomy, but nature shots and underwater shots and landscapes and everything else. It really is quite spectacular. And I know Adrian is going to be opening that up for corporate visits in particular. And I know he's going to get schools and educational establishments involved in this as well. And I'm hoping that he's going to be doing some astronomy in it, and I'm certainly prepared to help him with that. And it won't just be astronomy, I must stress. And he keeps telling me, I've got to say it's the dome, it's not a planetarium, or a 360-degree immersive cinema.
And what's access to that? How do you get to see that?
You need to get in touch with Adrian, and Adrian will be advertising shortly. It's in the process of being set up at the moment. He said 2017 is his setup period, his R&D period, but he's going to start opening up for corporate first. Initially it'll be corporate, and then beyond that he'll obviously be doing things for schools and everything else. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, I can state here now, by the way, that Howard is about to become a worldwide, well, even more of a worldwide star than he is, because you're doing your first TED Talk.
Yes, I am indeed. I'm delighted. Next Saturday I'm doing a TED Talk at the Kensington Road Youth Centre. This is something that's been arranged. Chris Stotts kindly arranged all this. He invited me to be one of the speakers, and it's quite it's quite different, because normally my lectures are 40 minutes long. That's what I have to do when I'm on the ships. And normally that's how long a lecture is before people start falling asleep, or more so than ever. It's got to be 15 minutes, not a minute more, not a minute less. Right. And you've got to really be punchy and quick.
Only I know what a trial that's going to be for Howard.
Listen, Andy, I can tell you truthfully, I've practiced it twice so far. The first time was 19 minutes. And this afternoon it was 18 minutes. And that was a big disappointment, because I took so much out of the 90-minute version, and all I've lost is a minute.
Well, you should know more than anybody, in astronomy terms, a miss is as good as a mile.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine if the ISS missed the docking Just by a minute.
Just
Just by
absolutely.
a minute. Oh, it wouldn't matter.
Sorry, 17,500 miles an hour later.
Not much.
Yeah. So no, I'm very excited about doing that.
And when is that?
It's a week on Saturday, and you can get tickets. I understand. I'm not sure how you get tickets, but it's on the website. If you go to there's a TEDx. If you just put TEDx Douglas, you'll come across it. And,
What's your subject?
Dark skies. My title of my talk is "Twinkle, Twinkle, a Little Star, How I Wonder Where You Are." And it's a play on the fact that we can't see the stars anymore. Don't get me going on dark skies. I'll be here till midnight. But it's basically talking about not just astronomy, though. It's talking about the fact that we've got problems now. There's lots of stories coming out. There's a big one on the BBC only this week about we're losing the night sky. We're not seeing the night sky because of too much light.
Right.
And that's affecting the circadian rhythm in animals. It's affecting pollination. It's affecting bird migration. It's starting to impact on other things. And the basic plea is let's give the night sky back to the children. Let people see the wonders of the night sky.
Okay. So talk to me about gravitational waves.
Yeah, this is another great discovery that took place in August. Gravitational waves are these things that were discovered about 18 months ago now. And what happened in August, instead of just discovering one which was two black holes colliding, which we couldn't see by any visual means because they're black holes, they don't emit light or radiation, because they can't travel faster than light. What basically has happened now is these gravitational waves were discovered, but it was not from a black hole. It was from what we call a neutron star, which is, if you like, the next thing before it becomes a black hole. And a neutron star emits radiation. It emits radiation in infrared, in optical light, and in gravitational waves. This was discovered in August this year and announced in September. And it really is a huge discovery for the subject of astrophysics. And it's something that, well, there'll be books and PhDs and Nobel Prizes. They've already won the Nobel Prize for their work initially. And it's a whole new branch of astronomy, and more about as and when it comes available.
And if you go into Howard's TED Talk, when he finishes 15 minutes, take him to one side and say, Howard, tell me about astrophysics. You'll be there all weekend.
I won't be there for 15 minutes, that's for sure.
Right, so contact points. How do we get in touch with you, Howard?
Best way to get in touch with myself is just howardparkinandmanx.net. I have got my own website, astromanx.com. The Society website, of course, iomastronomy.org. The government will have their own government website about these new initiative, this 2018, a great place to live and work. And but basically the beauty of the internet is, of course, just put anything in on the search engine.
And if you want Adrian Bell, just look out for details of
it's under
the dome.
The dome.
Don't call it a planetarium.
Don't call it a planetarium. He's told me that a million times. He'll play hell with me now. Sorry, not allowed to swear. We're on camera. That doesn't work, does
yes. Howard Park, it's good. Have a nice Christmas.
And the same to you, Andy.
I'll be seeing you later on.
We'll see you sometime. I don't know when we're going to be doing the next one.
Who knows?
We'll work it out.
Look in the stars.
We'll look in the stars.